Hi guys, welcome to Career and Corporate Hub. As I was going through TikTok the other day, I came across this video where this young lady, this beautiful young lady who recently graduated in BsC was saying, do not do or study BsC. So I was like, this is actually interesting. I think I would love to have her on my podcast. Hi Sisenalo, welcome to Career and Corporate Hub.
Hi Kojani, thank you so much for having me.
How are you?
Well, I'm fine, but I'm feeling a bit jitty because the camera and everything, but other than that, I'm doing very well.
Okay, so you recently graduated in BsC.
Yeah.
What is BsC? Let's start there.
Okay, so a BsC, right, is a Bachelor of Science. Okay, so with the BsC that I did is a Bachelor of Science degree, general.
Okay.
Right? So BsCs are separated into different kinds of BsCs. There's a BsC for finance, there's a BsC for health sciences, there's a BsC for natural sciences. They're just different kinds of BsCs.
Yeah.
So the one that I did particularly is a BsC general, which allows you to build up your own BsC. So it's not specific to a regulatory board, but you build up your own BsC, and then from that you're able to advance to choose, okay, this is where I want to belong. I want to go into health sciences, I want to go into food sciences, and every other thing that is there. So it's a very broad qualification.
And choosing BsC in high school, which high school did you go to first before we talk about choosing?
So I went to two high schools, grade 8 to grade 10. I went to Science College. And then when I got to grade 10, my mom was like, the fees, they're too much. So we need to change to a different school. So I went to Greenpoint, which is a public school. So I went from private to public school. So,
is that in East London still?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other one's East London Science College, and then the other one's in Greenpoint.
Okay.
So I went to Greenpoint from grade 11, and then I matriculated in Greenpoint.
And you applied to study BsC.
Yes, so I applied to study a BsC when I was in matric.
Yeah,
and then
just general BsC.
Yeah.
And why general? Like where did you hear about that? What inspired it?
Okay, so the first thing for me was roads. Okay, so I learned about sophisticated institutions. So I wanted an internationally recognized qualification. That was the main thing. Okay. So I knew that I had to go to UCT, WITS, Rhodes. What's the other one? I think UJ as well. So
UP. Yeah.
UP, yes. Sorry, it's UP. So most qualifications are internationally recognized, but at that moment in time, they made it seem like those particular institutions, especially if you're a top student, go to these institutions, go represent us in these institutions. So I chose Rhodes because for quite some time I was sick and I didn't want to be away from home. So I chose Rhodes and I was like, okay, this is going to be okay for me. And I'm a late bloomer. So I had to be closer to home, so that when I'm feeling homesick I can always come back home.
What do you mean you're a late bloomer?
A lot of people that were my age were way ahead of me, and I was just academics. I was just academics.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't want to be too out in the world, but I wanted to.
Girl.
Not entirely.
Okay.
Not entirely.
Yeah. And now let's go back to your TikTok video. I'll put a link here on YouTube to her TikTok video because it was quite interesting when you were saying that you wouldn't advise someone to study BsC. What was that coming from?
Okay, so I wanted to.
Where was it coming from? Not what was that coming from?
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So that video was initially supposed to be stitched from what that lady was saying in that video, but she didn't have that option. So she was talking about two kinds of BsCs. So she was saying that don't do this particular kind of BsC, which is the BsC that I did.
Yeah, the general BsC.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the motive of my video was to inform people that have already taken the decision to do this BsC and find themselves stuck in this, to how to move forward. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, or I'm able to articulate.
I get what you mean, because in the video you said what helped you was you heard about the HPCSA, the certification, and you therefore also registered to be certified with them. Can you explain that part?
Okay, so I did a BsC in biochemistry and microbiology, right?
Okay.
So from there I learned, so when I did the general, I wanted to contribute towards cancer research. I wanted to be part of cancer research. So I did the general because that was the way to get to biochemistry and microbiology. So biochemistry is the link to the cancer research, right? And then I didn't know that in order for you to work in a health science space, you need to be registered with HPCSA.
Okay.
So HPCSA is the regulatory board for health sciences. So remember I said mine is a general degree, right? It can allow you to go into health sciences, it can allow you to go into food sciences, forensics, genetics, and so many other aspects of biology and sciences. So I didn't know that I had to be particularly in health sciences in order for me to do what I wanted to do.
I see. So that's why you are saying you must be decisive when you're choosing your career. Instead of doing like general BsC, go do BsC
in health science. Yes.
Okay.
So do a Bachelor of Health Science in laboratory something, or biomedical something, or something that will lead you directly to where you want to be.
What I'm gathering from this is if you do your general BsC, you're gonna have to do something after to be qualified. If you want to go to the health science, you'll have to get a certification from the health side, right? Okay.
Yeah, so you need to do your honors. So in order for you to do your honors, you need funding. So that's where the problem actually is. So when you get the BsC general, you get NFQ level 7. But most health sciences fields or posts require you to have an NFQ level 8.
Okay.
So you have to move from NFQ level 7 to NFQ level 8, meaning that you have to do your honors. So in order for you to do your honors, you need funding.
Okay.
You need
Which a lot of companies don't offer
for honors. Yes, a lot of companies offer master's level upwards. So you're stuck in the middle, so you're just left there hanging, and it's kind of impossible to get into like that. So you have to find a loan, or just be privileged enough to be self-funded, and it's just so complicated and it's exclusive. But if you're someone that wants to branch into different it's broad. Let me just say that it's broad and it has multiple opportunities. But in order for you to access those opportunities, you need money. So if you don't have money to fund yourself, then you don't have the opportunities.
No, I like that advice, because I always say, or a lot of people who've done, like I've interviewed, they always say you must research. Like before you choose your career, you must always research. Because now you don't want to be stuck with a degree that you are unable to use it, because you have to further your studies in order for you to be recognized by
whoever.
Yes. So now you just finished your degree, right? And then you're obviously gonna do your internship. Maybe before we get to that, the process.
Okay. So I applied for my internship when I was on my matric year. I'm sorry, not internship, for the funding. I applied for my funding when I was in my matric year. And so they gave us this option to do the internship. So we're not obligated to, obliged to
work back for the bursary.
Yes, we're not. They
sponsored you.
Yes, we're not obliged to do so. But they give us the option. So they say, we've groomed you for 3 years, we funded you. So now that you're done, we don't want to leave you hanging. We'll give you some 2 years experience. At least if you have the 2 years experience, then you can register with HPCSA apparently.
Okay, so you can't register before you have experience.
You can through completing a health science qualification. So if you directly just
if you have a degree BsC in health science,
yeah,
you can be certified. But then if you have general BsC, you need experience, and
yes, experience in something
yeah.
health science.
Okay, so now you have to go study your honors.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I have to do my honors. I have to like continue do my masters, and then I need to also like have experience in that aspect or like health science division or branch.
Okay, but now you're going to do your internship, and then what are the plans after your internship? Like, what is the route that you're going to take in order for you to end up where you want to be?
Okay, so I've revised my my goals this year. Okay, so I'm someone who likes planning, and I planned ahead that when I'm 21, I'm gonna have my degree. I'll be doing my honors. I'll be working. When I'm 22, I'll be doing my masters. I'll be what. So I had that all in my head. But then this year, when things didn't happen the way that I had anticipated them, I decided to, just go back to the drawing board and just rediscover myself. So currently, there are two options on the table.
Okay.
So there's teaching in South Korea, China, teaching abroad in Asia, right? There's that, and then there's also the internship. So the South Korea, China, and all of that would be a way to just find my feed into my passion. Firstly, because I'm a tutor, I'm a teacher, so I would be feeding into my passion while gaining some financial support in order for me to be able to further my studies and just go into what I ultimately want, or just go to through the internship. During the 2 years, hopefully something will pop up, but there isn't any stable solution at the moment. But I know that the more I pray about it, the more God will reveal to me what I'm supposed to do. But I know that I do have these particular goals, and I know that I'll be able to reach these goals if I keep on praying.
No, definitely. I mean, but now looking at you as now you are a mom, don't you think that will also influence your choice between going to Korea for teaching and also doing your internship? Because I'm thinking, like, if you go to Korea, you have to go with your baby, and then if you stay behind, you have to do it for your baby. Maybe I don't know.
I think I thought about it well enough to take a decision that will not only benefit me but my family
as well.
My family as well, including him. So it's a bit complicated. It has its pros and cons, and the pros unfortunately outweigh the cons, and it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult if you look at it from an emotional level. Having to leave my son, you thinking that you're abandoning him and all of that. So it's a lot, but I know that a lot will come from it.
Sure, it will be fruitful at the end.
It will be fruitful, and he will thank me one day. He will thank me one day, and I know that I won't be gone forever. I'll be there for him. I'll try to bring him with me, whichever way. There's so many opportunities that side as well that I'm currently exploring. So it's difficult. It's difficult. I won't lie, but somebody has to do it. Somebody needs to be the sacrifice in order for the rest of us to be successful, or for the rest of us to have access. And unfortunately, I believe that in this situation, I have to be the sacrifice.
I mean, I think another thing that you didn't really speak about was you had to stay for a year without a job because of the career choice that you chose. So can you just tell us how that has impacted you? I mean, like when you finish when you write your exams, you get your transcripts, you're thinking, I'm gonna get a job, you know?
So I knew that last year when everyone else was applying for honors, was applying for what, I knew that I needed a break more than
Okay.
anything. The way I got to my final exam, I was already on my knees. I was scrolling for every scrap that I could find so that I could get to the finishing line. So I knew that other than anything, I need a break. I need a break so that I can go back to the drawing board. I need to go back to the drawing board, find myself again, redefine my goals, redefine who I am, and just build on that. And I knew that I was secured because I have the bursary internship. So I knew that, okay, I'm gonna get the internship. I have a job that is waiting specifically for me. But in terms of academics, in terms of everything else that I'm doing, leadership, all the things that I'm used to doing, I need to take a break. So I took a break from tutoring, I took a break from everything just to find myself again, regather my strength, and just to be a mom to my son, because he will need me for the first 1,000 days of his life. That's what I learned. So I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to focus on myself, focus on my son, and everything else that happens thereafter will just be a coincidence.
And don't you think maybe being pregnant during your studies also affected your direction or your path, like your initial plans?
I think it did, but not entirely. I feel like it needed to happen. I needed to revise. I needed to come back and gather my strength, because being in the university space kind of convinces you that you're independent. It convinces you that you're a different kind of person. And when you get home, then you realize that I forgot that I left these people at home. These people need me.
But also, you were in SRC represent. What is SRC again?
Student Representative Council.
Yes. So you were an SRC member, and that means you have to put other people first and you last. Don't you think that also has an impact in like your choices?
It did.
Also,
it did. Also
that you feel like everything just became too much. And now, like SRC. Baby,
academics.
Like, what about me?
And unfortunately, I thought that after that baby, then I'm going to get a break. Then I'm gonna recollect myself. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It had to be me and the baby.
Yeah. Once you become a mom,
and the baby, So I was like, no way. This is too much for me to handle. I need some time alone. I remember the only thing that I yearned after giving birth was a shower. I yearned a shower, not in the sense that I hadn't been bathing, but I wanted a shower where I could just breathe without worrying that the baby will wake up, without worrying that the baby will cry. So I left my baby at home and then I went to school to complete my my degree, right?
Was it after how many months?
3 weeks.
No way.
I promise.
Oh my gosh.
I was crying all the way there.
Yeah,
I was crying all the way. I think I cried for 3 days straight. Because I was like, I want my son. I want my son. But then I knew that I had to complete the qualifications so that I can come back and be with him. That's also another thing that I feel like it was intentional. It was God's will. It had to be done, that I had to take a break this year and just to recollect myself and redefine who I am. So when I got to Reyes, all I did was put my bags down, grab my toiletries, and I went for a shower.
Wow.
I took a shower and I couldn't believe it, because I was like, this is me. I'm finally back to myself. And then from there onwards, I think it's just been all systems go.
What would be your advice for somebody that is newly at a university? They don't really know, and then with your experience being in SRC and then now being pregnant also before you finish your degree, like what would be your advice?
Okay, this one is tricky. It's tricky because there's so much.
Maybe let's just start with you being involved in SRC, what, and the reason why I ask, when I was in varsity, a lot of people used to say that don't get involved in SRC because you fail. Everyone that is there is failing. Yeah, they say that. And looking at you young and you've completed your degree, that like, I think that's not entirely true. Yeah. Let's start there. What be your advice? Would you advise somebody to join SRC or not?
Okay. So definitely do something that aligns with your character. The university space allows you to explore who you are. But in you exploring who you are, there's a phrase or like a saying in Xhosa that says "ungalahli imbongo phoyiyana," which means don't lose yourself. Don't lose your traditions. Don't lose who you are because of what you're trying to become, sort of. I don't know how to directly translate it.
I understand. I think it makes sense. But for me, because I'm saying I understand because I understand, but I'm not sure for the viewers. I hope you also understand.
Yeah. So in you trying to explore yourself, finding yourself in that university space, just always make sure that you remember who you are. It's very easy to forget who you are when you're in those spaces. So I knew that I was a leader. So first classes, I remember I have this friend, he always tells me that, I knew that you were gonna be in the SRC from the day I saw you. I think third class, first year, they asked us to elect class representatives. It was before COVID. So they told us to elect ourselves. I ran to the front. I was wearing a short dress. I stood in and I remember because everybody used to like say, it's that girl. So first 3 days at university, I knew that I was there to lead. In such a big space, I knew that I was going to take force. I was going to take charge. And I don't care when they say that in university you're just a speck of dust. I'm here to swim with the big fishes, and I'm here to occupy my space. So I knew that I'm that person. So I had to indulge in such spaces. So if you're someone who's reserved, try to explore yourself better and try to find yourself outside that reserved person. Try to find yourself outside that leader. Try to find yourself outside of whatever definition of you that you have. See if you can interact with other people, learn people's cultures, learn people like perspectives, and just be willing to consume knowledge, not just academic knowledge, but knowledge, emotional, be open to opinions, open to other perspectives as well. So just be open, but don't forget who you are, because the minute you're unable to draw the line between learning new things and being yourself, that's where you're gonna trip. And it's okay if you trip. You can always recollect yourself and come back to who you are. Go back to the drawing board, find yourself, and just
And then now the second part with the pregnancy.
Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't feel sorry for yourself. A lot of like. And don't limit yourself to like in terms of celebrating your pregnancy, right? Because if you feel sorry for yourself, you will get depressed.
That's it when you are pregnant.
Yes. So if you limit yourself, if you feel sorry for yourself, then you start limiting what you can do. So you'll start thinking, okay, maybe I should go back home. Maybe I should complete my qualification after I get the baby.
You give birth.
Yes. I can't go to my classes now because I'm pregnant. I can't do my assignments because I'm pregnant. Like don't constantly give yourself excuses. Just do what you can do and just forfeit what you cannot do. Try your best to be the best version of yourself, regardless of what is growing inside of you, but also be considerate of that little person that wants to come out, and just give them room to also grow. And just also, I don't know, man, pregnancy really didn't affect me that much. It's only the emotional part of it where you don't have control over your emotions.
And we're not disappointed. I mean, like when you're studying, you like have plans already.
No, not entirely. I think I've always loved children.
Expected?
It wasn't planned.
Okay.
It wasn't expected.
Yeah.
But then when I found myself in the situation, I decided that there's no point in
embrace
crying.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because now I've chosen to be a young mother, then I need to embrace the situation and just celebrate my pregnancy. Because when my son is 15 years old, he will ask me if I regretted it, and I need to show him that I did not regret having it. I don't want when children become teenagers, they will start having questions. They will ask, why aren't you with my dad? What did you do? And whatever, all those questions. So I made sure that I celebrated my pregnancy in a way that didn't reflect me regretting it, and I didn't want my son to ever feel like he was a mistake. So I always made sure that, okay, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have a baby shower, I'm gonna have a maternity shoot, I'm just going to celebrate my pregnancy and make my son feel special before he even comes to the world.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Such a smart young lady.
Come on. Stop.
So thank you so much for really accepting this invitation to interviewing you, and really I like you putting yourself out there to say, don't do this, like with the BsC. So I hope somebody that is watching will get something out of this interview. And I think you're destined to go far, and you are gonna go far.
Thank you so much.
You are definitely gonna go far. So I like the fact that you know what you want, and you believe in planning as well. So you fall and then you get up and you move on.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If there are some topics that you would like us to discuss, please do leave a comment in the description box. If you have more questions with regards to the BsC, comment, we can engage there.
Definitely.
Yes, so thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.